Did you hear how much Avengers Infinity War is supposed to earn at the box office opening weekend?
Wow.
That Quentin Tarantino's new film is supposed to be very similar to his iconic Pulp Fiction? What about the first official trailer to Tom Hardy's Venom? No? We've got you covered. Welcome to the CineFiles, a weekly show where we zoom in on the most buzzworthy news Hollywood and the indie scene has to offer. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe to Mojo Talks for the CineFiles Extended Cut, a weekly discussion show where we break down the week's biggest stories. Link in the description below. Number 3. Sony releases first Venom trailer. After many Marvel fans called the first Venom teaser underwhelming, Sony didn't beat around the bush with its first full-length trailer showcasing in its entirety the entity that is Venom.
We are Venom.
The trailer follows Hardy's Eddie Brock, a reporter who's after a big story against Riz Ahmed's Dr. Carlton Drake, who seems to be a pretty controversial fellow.
The guy you work for is an evil person.
After grilling Drake during an interview, the evil symbiote latches itself onto Brock, thus putting him through a dark and disturbing transformation.
Why would we do that?
The action scenes seem to hold their own, but Jenny Slate's pronunciation of symbiote, Tom Hardy's thick New Yorker accent, and Venom's big gross tongue have the internet poking fun at the trailer. Another complaint from fans, that Spider-Man was nowhere to be seen, bringing into question why Venom's suit mimics that of the teenage superheroes if it's never seen him in the first place.
The way I see it, we can do whatever we want.
Does Spidey make an appearance in the end? Guess we'll have to wait till it hits theaters October 5th. Number 2. Quentin Tarantino says new movie is similar to Pulp Fiction. Quentin Tarantino movies are always shrouded in mystery, with the filmmaker never revealing much about plot prior to his film's releases.
I don't give a damn if he does.
But for his latest film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the iconic filmmaker revealed what type of storytelling audiences should expect. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Tarantino, alongside Leonardo DiCaprio at CinemaCon, said that his latest would be, quote, the closest to Pulp Fiction that I have done.
Can you believe that?
Well, I mean, at the time I was told it sounded reasonable.
Pulp Fiction, which is considered to be one of Tarantino's best, follows an unconventional narrative structure, with 3 primary storylines broken down into 7 narrative sequences.
Vincent. We happy?
Yeah, we happy.
With Pulp Fiction and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood both being crime films, with the latter based on the Charles Manson murders in 1969 Los Angeles, it makes sense that Tarantino wants to return to the roots that made him so successful. The film has an A-list cast, featuring Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, and Margot Robbie.
Well, gentlemen, you had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
Before we get to our final entry, here are a couple new releases.
This is my house we're talking about. I keep it in order.
The end is near.
Number 1. Avengers Infinity War to become highest-grossing premiere of all time. Not only is Avengers Infinity War the most ambitious crossover event in history,
I hope they remember you.
it might just become the biggest box office opening in history. According to a number of predictions, the 19th installment of the MCU franchise could surpass $250 million on opening weekend, which would make it the biggest debut of all time.
This is it.
What's our timeline?
No telling.
The current record holder, at $247 million, Star Wars The Force Awakens currently holds the crown, with its sequel, Star Wars The Last Jedi, in second place with $220 million. Jurassic World sits in third with $208 million.
I think it's good, except it sucks.
With spoilers littered across the internet, and directors Anthony and Joe Russo pleading the public not to post them, fans will surely go out in droves to see it as soon as possible. The giant payout this weekend will surely be welcomed by Disney and Marvel, as Infinity War is the second most expensive movie ever to be made, with a budget of $300 million. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to our Mojo Talks YouTube channel for the video version of the CineFiles Extended Cut.